All right. Thank you, Ben. We're going to go ahead and get started with our board meeting. Today is August 17th, 2020. We're going to begin by indicating who is here, starting with Connie.
Connie Anderson.
Nicole McDermott.
Connie Burgess.
Chris Wynn.
Terry Bodden.
Todd
Zinger.
Todd Zinger is joining us online, and Karen Winder, board chair. Thanks for coming out today. We have some visitors here, and we appreciate being with us this morning. We're going to have Dr. Martin Bates lead us in the pledge.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we are going to go immediately into our first action item, which is the reconsideration of their elementary school service program. Because of our school board policy, we need a supermajority vote in order to put this reopening plan back up for discussion, which on this board is 5 of 7. So I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we reconsider our earlier action on the elementary service program.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for reconsideration of our elementary school service pattern. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, Martin. Okay, now, next, I will entertain a motion for the new elementary school service pattern.
This is Todd. I'd like to make a motion. Upon further review of the recent input from the GEA, from teachers, administrators, staff, parents, and others, and based upon the preparations already in place by elementary schools, I move that the elementary schedule be amended as follows. Monday through Friday, elementary schools may proceed with designated teachers for in-class and online teaching, or have all teachers teach both modalities. And Fridays will be a distance instruction planning day with all teachers teaching distance on that day. The choice as to teaching modality is left to each school site administration and teachers. Elementary schools are to determine the allocation of their FTEs accordingly, at least for the first quarter.
Okay, great, Todd. Now, just a point of clarity, initially and early in your motion, you said the school as follows Monday through Friday. Did you mean Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday?
I'm sorry, Monday through Thursday.
Okay,
correct.
Just wanted to clarify that point.
Thank you.
All right, board members, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I second.
Might I make sure that I've got this clear in my mind?
Please do.
Here. So this, speaking for elementary teachers, all elementary teachers would teach distance on Friday. And then all teachers, elementary teachers, would need to be prepared to switch to distance if that were required upon recommendation of the health department that a school or a class, so all would need to be prepared. But then schools which have already have their plans in place or 80% or 90% complete would be able to continue with those and then use this further direction to finish up those last 10%. Okay.
Yeah, board members.
Would you help me? As I've read a lot of the emails, there's a question as to Friday could also be a planning day. What do you expect from teachers as far as teaching on Fridays virtually?
Yes, so all teachers teach distance on Fridays. Our guidance was in the spring, would continue here in the fall. Distance teaching is not a minute-to-minute or an hour-to-hour requirement. So that's not that all elementary teachers would be online with their students for 2 hours on Friday. In fact, what's coming forward this next week, this very week that we're in, is extensive training in anticipation of the need to shift to distance that our curriculum department will be making available to our elementary schools. about assignments and other modalities and tools and materials that might be used on Friday to be providing that educational service. But that's different than being online with all of the kids for 2 hours to replicate the classroom experience. Rick, is that fair? Rick is nodding. Thank you.
This is Todd. I understand Fridays will be a distance learning day or for distance instruction or planning as needed by the teacher. Correct?
It's not or, it's and. It's so there
Okay.
will be instruction on
Thank you.
there will be instruction on Fridays, and that should free up considerable time for teachers to be able to plan for the rest of the time.
Thank you.
Okay, board members, we have a motion and a second on the table. Any questions, concerns? No? All right, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I just want to say, oh yeah, Connie.
So a part of what we just did to help clarify, I moved that, oh, maybe we didn't, that we also say October 21st and 22nd are designated as professional development and program adjustment days on what we learn after the first quarter. So we can explain. I will second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Todd, did you have a comment?
I did. I just don't think we need to do that. I think we can just do that administratively.
The calendar needs to be set by the Board of Education.
So we need to change the calendar is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Under the state board rule that to designate those days as professional development days, that needs to be a board motion on the calendar.
Okay.
And we will have to also apply for a waiver from the state, correct?
That is already in place. The board just needs to act to change the calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the state gave us some days of professional development to work with. And in light of all these moving parts as we wrap up the first quarter and look into the second quarter, we thought it wise to give our teachers 2 additional days to not only wrap up the first quarter, but to look ahead and plan for the second quarter, as there may be kids coming in and out of their class. If they opt for a different learning option, for example, if we have an in-person first quarter and then they opt for online learning the second quarter, this should give our teachers a couple extra days to be able to navigate around that and plan accordingly, and also our administrative teams and the local district, local schools, to be able to have time to work directly with their faculties for this. Just a point, October 23rd is already a non-attendance day for students as marked by the end of the term. So we'll actually give those teachers the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with non-attendance days for students. So board, just to kind of clear it up and what that looks like. So
And we will make sure that that's sent out to parents so they can make plans accordingly.
immediately, yep.
Immediately, okay.
Okay, so we do have a motion and a second on the table for those 2 days. Any further comment or questions? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes unanimously for that too. So we will, Ben, if you'll make sure to let our families and faculties know, employees, as soon as possible so they can make note of that. Okay. Terry, you mentioned you had a couple questions.
Just one. I appreciate all the emails that we've received and concerns that people have expressed. I've seen a lot of emails that are concerned about safety issues, and I think it's important that we clarify what have we done, are doing, and will do in the future to create as safe an environment as possible for our teachers, our students, and our staff. There's a lot of confusion, I think, and I'd like to ask Superintendent to explain what we have done and what we are doing and will do in the future.
Thank you. For a couple of weeks now, our principals all had the schedule, the shipment schedule of what things are to have arrived by when, what things are going to arrive by when. And let me talk a little about those things, if you would. Tens of thousands of masks and face shields are already at the schools, are there at the schools. 10,000 desk dividers and 3,000 student desk dividers and 3,000 teacher desk shields will arrive in our warehouse in the next day or two and will be delivered to the schools immediately, many days before school starts. I did learn Friday. I've talked a number of times about the installation of the hospital grade air filters, which into our HVAC systems. I learned Friday that is not yet complete. That's quite a few schools have those filters installed already. There is a rumor that no more filters would be available until this coming March. I have no idea where that came from, but our conversations with the manufacturer, those are being shipped as they are being completed. Every school should be done mid-September, mid to third or fourth week of September. That is something we're doing, by the way, that's above and beyond any recommendation. That's not in anybody's recommendation. That's just something that we felt strongly about doing. I apologize, it's on me that I misunderstood a report I received and said a number of times that's complete. That's not complete. However, the health department and CDC both recommended that the air in buildings cycle at least twice daily. I'm pleased to tell you we're cycling that 3 times an hour, 24/7. So that's not just it's something we're doing continually. That is complete. That is operational. That is underway and ongoing. And then Terry, principals have also had for some time additional list of what other things might be available or are available in the warehouse, and also if there are specific things that they'd like for their schools where they can order those things. We've given every school additional funds so they can purchase things which they would like to have. There was an email yesterday about my classroom only has 15 of these microfiber cloths. Every classroom in the district's got 60 of those. So if somebody's only got 15, I don't know where the other 45 went, but they need to talk with their principal about that, because those have long been delivered at the schools already. That's a lot of work. Our
Can I?
cleaning schedules are all in place and underway.
I think that at this point we need to say that there are so many people in the district that are working hard, but I think Don, if we ask Don how hard his people in the warehouse and the people that deliver, these people have been working so hard to get stuff to schools. And I think we need to have Dawn, please tell your people we understand how hard they're working to get everything out. We appreciate everybody that's working hard, because I know that this is a tough year, but thank you to the people that are trying to get all those supplies out to our schools.
And just maybe if our administrators could make another effort, I know they're working hard, to make sure every teacher, if they have a concern, that they're listening to that, because we've got a lot of emails that maybe it's not getting to the end of the row.
One other thing on emails is that everybody that's in that school needs to wear a mask, and that people are uncomfortable if you decide to take your mask off, or if somebody walks in off the street, or if parents walk into the school. Everybody needs to wear a mask, period.
Let me be clear on something there, Connie. There had been a mixed message coming out of the governor and state health department and regarding face shields as opposed to masks. And that's been clarified absolutely over the weekend. Face coverings, whatever you call them, have to fit tightly under the chin, over the nose, and around. So a face shield does not do that. Now there's a specific additional language, not an exception, but additional language, that in language type classes, when somebody needs to see what the mouth looks like, what the mouth is doing, that the shield should be on. The mask can be removed for that moment or period of instruction. and then put back on under the shield. But a shield by itself, under the governor's order, is not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Just a few comments. We've received a lot of emails over the last several days. Why are you doing this at the 11th hour? School's a week away. Frankly, we know a lot more now than we did even a couple weeks ago. We know our enrollment numbers of how parents are choosing to send their kids to school, whether in person or online. And frankly, we're surprised at those numbers. We have a very high in-person enrollment, which therefore makes a very low online enrollment. And therefore, that causes a few challenges, poses a few challenges, especially for our smaller elementary schools. So why we're here today is we are listening to our teachers loud and clear. We're listening to our teacher association, who sent us a formal request to re-examine the elementary program last Thursday, a few days ago, to basically open a discussion back up on how to handle all of these challenges. We also now know the threshold from the state and county health departments on what a quarantine may look like, what can cause a quarantine, 3 per class, 15 per school. So all of those factors play into why we're here today and called this emergency board meetings, to be able to discuss those and be able to come up with a plan that the majority of teachers, we believe, will support what we've done today. A big thing from this board is part of the motion that we just voted on today is allowing the flexibility for the local elementary school principal to work with their faculty and choose a plan that works best for their group of teachers and their communities and their students. At the end of the day, we're here for the kids. We're here to ensure that their education is good and solid and that they are learning every day and progressing every day. So I just want to let my board know how much I appreciate their hard work. And we have received a lot of feedback and we read it. The tricky part with the feedback is there's not one consensus. We have feedback backing up every angle of every reopening schedule we've looked at. So unfortunately, when we have to make a vote and choose one way, we know that there's going to be a cluster of people that aren't happy with the direction we're going. But we believe today we will have the support of the majority of our teachers. And there's not one plan that everybody loves every aspect of in this in this pandemic. But we're all doing our best. We appreciate our teachers. We appreciate our teacher association reaching out with their concerns. And we do love the teachers and how hard they work for us every day. So I just wanted to give a few minutes of explanation as to why we felt it's so important the week before school starts to have this meeting and make this change. Any other comments, board members? If not, I'll have a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn. I'll second.
Hold on just one
Todd?
second. This is Todd. I just had my phone muted, and so I didn't get to jump in.
You're
I just wanted to express a concern that I've expressed earlier, and I know I've made a motion to have reconsidered and go to a modified schedule, and I know I can't get a second on that. But I was just concerned that last Friday we had an infection rate in Utah that was over 15%, and I think we are in a situation where we need to be willing or ready to go to a modified schedule for the safety of everybody. So I'm hearing loud and clear parents and teachers and administrators who continue to be concerned about a full in-time class schedule. And I continue to advocate for a modified schedule.
All right, thank you, Todd. Okay, we have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you.